16 hours in the
16 hours
traffic.
stuck in the traffic in the car.
I have to say, probably no one in Poland ever had to escape from a city in such a traffic for such a long time.
All that
you know
comes to
some
mind
words
is Caritas
already.
Poland. Yes, tak, tak. I know tak, tak.
For example, what else? Through these years, did you ever have a feeling or a thought while evacuating or while hearing bombs or whatever that you will maybe never see your family again?
Of course.
Hello everyone, greetings from Syria. I'm now with Anthony, who works in Hope Center, and we are partners for many years already. So we thought to give you a little bit of backstage of our work, of what we do in humanitarian field, because I actually feel there's not too many interviews about it and not too many information about how we work. And also we will bring you a little bit of information about Syria. Anthony, my first question would be, who are you? Because I just want to introduce you. So what's your work? What are you doing in your life?
I started working with the Hope Center probably 2 years ago. I work in the public relations department. So I'm basically working with reports and project designing and project proposals.
Yeah. How long are you here in Hope Center?
I've been around 2 years.
Around 2 years.
Yes.
Okay. And what does it mean that you do public relations work? What is your daily work? If you go to the office, what do you do?
So basically, writing project reports and contacting the donors, and to make sure that everything is going well with the projects. And if we were to design a new project, I would also get involved and to design a project proposal, and then would be submitted to a potential donor.
Yeah, but I know you also have some extra work apart from Hope Center. What is it?
I actually studied dentistry, so I do dentistry after hours, 4 days a week.
4 days a week?
Yes, 4 days a week.
So you go for 8 hours to Hope Center every day?
Yes.
And then 4 times
after
a week?
hours, I go to a clinic, a clinic, a dental center where I do regular dental affairs.
Yeah, we met one woman actually during visiting our micro projects that we supported. She was a dentist.
Yes.
And she said that it's hard for her to find customers sometimes in Syria because it's not the basic need. Do you face the same problem sometimes?
Actually, it is actually a problem, but personally I don't face this issue because I work with a dispensary related to the church. So it's basically non-profit work I do with this dispensary. We give clinical procedures, basic clinical procedures, all types of clinical and dental needs with very, very low costs.
Okay.
So yes, we would have plenty of patients coming and to this dispensary because the costs and the prices are lower than the regular market.
Yeah. Since we are in Aleppo, I have to ask you about one thing, which is kebab karas.
Yes.
I personally don't know it because I don't eat meat, but I know that some people are posting a lot on TikTok and Instagram about it. Can you tell us what is it? What is this famous worldwide food?
Yes, so it's basically an Aleppian dish, traditional dish. It's basically made out of grinded meat, grinded lamb meat. So then it will be molded into bowls and cooked with cherries and cherry sauce.
Yeah, and karas means cherries.
Yes, karas translates to cherries.
Why is it so famous?
I think it's the sweet and with the meat mixture.
Yeah.
That what's really made this dish famous.
But have you also seen it online?
I have seen this trend online.
Yes?
I have seen it online, and it made me very proud to eat it on a daily basis at home.
Yeah, and you can only eat it in Aleppo? They don't serve it anywhere else?
In some places they serve it, but it's quite different.
Yeah.
So it's originally from Aleppo, yeah.
So you can cook it at home, and you can eat it in a restaurant?
Yes.
Can people afford, usually in Syria, to eat out of home?
Not very frequently and not very regularly, because eating out have its own prices, and the prices are not that low, considering the wages and the salaries of the regular individuals here in Aleppo. So on some occasions, of course, we go out to eat in a restaurant, let's say, but not on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yesterday, while having dinner, we were talking about very different moments of your work, but there is one that was really interesting for me, and it was the moment December last year when the government collapsed. And yeah, you work in a humanitarian field, but you also live in Syria, so you're escaping, helping. Both of these things happened to you. Can you tell us about the situation? How do you remember the first moment that you got to know? Where have you been?
So yes, it was a regular Friday morning. We were at the office doing our regular business. Everyone is at their desk, a regular
You
morning.
sit, you write your
Yes,
emails.
regular morning.
Yeah.
In the office.
Because I have to say, just to our audience, you have a very beautiful office in Aleppo,
thank you.
and it's really nice to sit in there. First of all, you have this conditioning, so if it's 40 degrees, you can really get cold in your office. So you are sitting, having your everyday morning, Friday,
regular work day, and all of a sudden we hear through the news that the opposite forces of the previous government are coming to Aleppo, and they are coming to take Aleppo. And this has made everyone panic and not know what to do. So the manager took the decision that everybody should take their laptops and go home to stay safe with your family. So go home to your families and pack some of your stuff. We don't know what's about to happen. So just want you to be all safe and make sure that you are ready for any type of decision or any type of option that we might face in this in the future, in the near future.
Yeah.
So I took my laptop. I went home to my family. We have discussed moving and discussed fleeing Aleppo, but you know how old people are. They are very attached to their houses and to their city, and they refuse to change what they are used to. So we spent the night of the same day in Aleppo. And in the night, the opposite forces were able to capture Aleppo. And the Syrian army at the time have stepped away from Aleppo, and Aleppo was completely controlled by the opposite forces at the time. So in the next very early morning, I somehow managed to convince...
so it was Saturday, yes, when you were leaving?
It was Saturday morning. I somehow managed to convince my family that we don't know what's going to happen. In order to be safe, we need to move out of the city just for a temporary period, and then we can take it on from there. So I managed to get my family into our car, not being ready to take a long distance trip, not having our car checked or enough fuel, actually.
How long was the trip? You mentioned 350 kilometers?
More than 350
so
kilometers. So
where did you decide to go?
So basically we wanted just to flee Aleppo. My mom had the idea that we should go to Latakia.
How far is it?
This distance that I have already told you.
You felt it will be safe, or you have some family there?
We have some connections there.
Okay.
We contacted them and say it's okay to come to the church. We could welcome you to the church, took shelter. So we took Latakia as a destination. We got in the car, took whatever clothes we had, the very basic essentials, the passports, the IDs, our certificates. I took my certificate with me as well because I didn't know what our house could go through.
You took the picture of your house?
Yes.
Why?
Before leaving our home, I took pictures of the room, my bedroom, and some of my memories that I have in my house. Because at the time I thought that I won't be able to come back to Aleppo and not be able to come back to my house. maybe my house would be destroyed, maybe my house would be robbed, etc.
Yeah.
So we managed to get in the car to flee Aleppo. I was the one driving. It was a very new experience to me because, you know, when you are used to driving in the city, it's not the same when you were to drive between big cities and having long trips. So we got in the car. It was very crowded in the car. We have a small car that actually also not built for big distances. So it was an addition concern of me, the one driving and having responsibility of my family. Against everything, we took, we went on the road, and here comes a very, very big issue that every family that went and decided to go outside Aleppo had the same issue.
So just to understand, there are more or less 23 million people in Aleppo. Do you have any information how many decided to leave?
In Syria there is 23.
In Syria, yes, sorry. Do you know how many people decided to move during this situation?
Yes, so I think the latest reports done by the United Nations estimated that the number was between 500 and 600,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
It's
have
a lot.
managed to flee Aleppo at the time.
Yeah.
Yes. The official road that connects Aleppo to Latakia was also controlled by the opposite forces. So we had to take a longer road, but was available at the time.
Yeah.
So it is a very narrow road, and it's not very meant to facilitate the travel of many cars. So on this very narrow road, we spent the night there. There were plenty of cars. I would say more than 2,000 cars are stuck in the traffic jam in their places during the cold night, not knowing what could happen, hearing
What does it mean cold night in Syria? How many degrees did you have?
I think it was at that night specifically was very cold. I think it went low as -2, -3 degrees at the time, and it was basically freezing outside. So we stuck in the traffic jams. All the cars are next to each other, moving very slowly. So you can't sleep because you need to move with the traffic jam, and you also can't turn off the car because you have to move every minute. Every minute and every
just
second, slowly moving,
forward.
slowly going through this road. The traffic lasts throughout the night. I would say probably like 8 hours in the night, moving a bit. While we were stuck on the traffic, some of the cars thought that it would be a good idea to get off-road to make the path shorter and to get ahead of all the other cars that are stuck. So these cars ended up stuck in the sand or had an accident, or just they had to abandon their cars and leave their cars behind, find other ways to get to their destination. So after staying 8 hours in this massive traffic jam, we somehow managed to get to Homs eventually, where we took a short break, rested a bit, and...
But to what Homs? Because you were escaping Aleppo. Where did you stop?
So actually we needed it this short break because we've been in the car at this time for like let's say 16 hours.
16 hours 16 in the traffic.
Hours stuck in the traffic in the car.
In a traffic that you might see on the pictures that we will be showing, because you created some AI pictures, some are from your phone, so whatever you see on the screens, this is what we got from your memories from your telephone. And then you had the break, and then what?
After a short break in Homs, we continued our trip to eventually reach Latakia, an additional, let's say, 9-hour drive.
Wow, so together your trip was like 25?
25, 26 hours.
Wow. Okay, what problems can we imagine on the way? When I have to say, probably no one in Poland ever had to escape from a city in such a traffic for such a long time. Or if we
Yes.
have these long travels, you have lovely petrol stations, you stop, you buy a nice juice, and generally it's easy.
Yes.
How was it for you?
So mainly, everybody that fled their house with cars, they weren't prepared. They didn't have enough fuel. They didn't have enough food or water as well. And we were just found ourselves in the car on the road. So there were no toilets, nowhere to break, nowhere to take a break, no place for anybody to buy something or fill their car with gas.
So you were just hungry?
Yes, yes. Till we reached Homs, we didn't have any food, so
Yeah.
hunger was one of the issues.
Yeah, and then what's the water situation also? You didn't have?
Actually, we had
You
two
had,
bottles of
okay.
water prepared. Some people didn't have any, so we managed to give them a glass of water just to keep them
Yeah.
going, you know.
What was hardest for you personally on this trip?
Actually, the hardest memory of this trip is me realizing that in some point while we were waiting in the traffic jams that I am the one who is responsible of my own family, even having my father and mother and my sister with me in the car. I was the one responsible to take them to safety and make sure we reach our destination.
So this all happened in the last days of November 2024, yes?
Yes, 29th.
29th of November.
Yes.
What was the day that you could go back to Aleppo?
So we stayed in Latakia till the announcement of the liberating Syria. So till 8 December.
8th December,
8th
okay.
of December.
And then you
yes.
came back, and during this whole situation, what did Hope Center and you as a humanitarian worker did in this crisis?
Actually, when I first arrived to Latakia, I had my laptop, like I said earlier, packed up with me. It's my work laptop. So the day after me arriving to Latakia, I instantly went to the Hope Center's office in Latakia to help the team with the relief aid and the emergency work that we were doing at the time.
And for those that might not understand what is relief work, what does it really mean practically?
It's basically making sure that the displaced people have food, shelter, water, and then some wash needs.
Yeah, I remember at that time we, via Dominic, who is cooperating with you, were also calling you to ask how can we support from Poland, because people all around the world, they wanted to help.
Yes.
What would you say? How can people help from countries that are far away, they are watching you, and they really try and hope to support?
Yes. At the time, the basic help was through food baskets and mattresses, blankets, hygiene kits. But for now, I think the family program is a great way and a great channel where people can donate, even in small amounts. It will mean a lot for families here in Aleppo.
Yeah. But at that time, when you were looking for mattresses, food, or whatever, were you able to go to the shop and just buy it, or did you need someone to bring it to you? How was it?
From my personal experience in Latakia, it wasn't that easy to get access to big amounts of food or whatever, because you know the demand was high at the time, because there are other people who are also displaced and need such material. So buying and equipping the food and etc. wasn't that easy at all. It wasn't that easy at all. Yeah.
Okay. So where did it come from finally? Did some people bring it from abroad or?
No, I don't think so, but the logistic team in the Latakia office had managed through their relations and
Yeah, just-
their network with suppliers to they managed a bit from this supplier, a bit more from this supplier. They the mattresses from one supplier and the blankets from the other, and
So from abroad, it still makes sense to fundraise,
yes,
to
yes,
support
yes, definitely,
financially, and then you
definitely,
can
definitely.
manage here on your own. Okay. This is only one of the evacuations and that you had that you had through your life. I just would like to briefly understand what else happened. If you could just list what other evacuations that you have.
So through the war in Aleppo, we have evacuated our house once,
Yeah.
actually, to another.
What year was that?
I think it was in 2013.
2013. Okay.
Yes, in the middle of the war, not at
Yeah.
the very first beginning. So our house got hit, our building got hit by a bombshell.
Yeah.
And so we decided that we should stay away for some time.
Yeah.
So we took shelter in my grandmother's house.
It was first time.
It was the first and the only, actually, the only
Okay.
time, because my neighborhood was considerably safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was the first. What was next? During the
The
years?
the next time that we have evacuated our house actually was in 2023 when the earthquake
Earthquake.
happened. Yes, this was post-war. So when the earthquake happened, we had to evacuate our house. We took shelter in the car, in the street, for 2 days, and then we came back, not to our home. We came back to my grandmother's house, which is on a lower floor, so it was considerably safer for us to be there, and we stayed there for I would say we stayed there for quite a long time. I would say we stayed there for a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the second time, and then the third was the story that you mentioned.
Yes.
So 3 times already. I have to say I never had to evacuate my home, and also I see that whenever we come to the Middle East, I meet people who are a bit used to living in the tension. While now it's 13th of June, and we hear that there are some tensions on the Middle East. I'm here, so I'm already getting calls from my family. People are asking, are you safe? Is everything fine? And for you, I feel it's like your daily life.
Yes.
I want to ask you, how are you getting used to and how you cope with living in these tensions in Middle East?
Mainly, I don't know about other people, but
Yeah,
us Syrians,
yeah.
we also managed to find a way to cope with everything that we came across. So whenever a challenge or a specific circumstance hit us and a disaster hit us, let's say, we always find a way to go around this and actually cope with this. But I think basically for me, having hope that this country might be actually worth to go through all of this for, and also my belief in God, that He won't leave us alone, and He is with us through all this.
Okay. Let's maybe switch for a moment to some cultural aspects of
Yes,
Syria.
of course.
I wanted
Let's
to
do this.
ask you, am I properly dressed as a woman in Syria?
Yes, I would say yes.
You would say yes.
Yes, I would say yes.
But what would typically people in Syria say?
As long as you have your shoulders covered, it's fine with
Okay.
everybody.
So shoulders covered are fine.
And also knees.
Yeah, and if I have flip-flops, this is
It's
fine?
okay,
It's
yes,
okay.
it's okay.
And long sleeves are fine,
Yes.
long shorts. Okay, are there any other cultural differences that come to your mind while knowing us, while knowing people from Europe? What could be interesting for us? What do you see that
I
we are
have
shocked?
one in mind, yes.
Yeah, tell me.
When we went to dinner
Yeah.
earlier on your trip, you guys were shocked with the food portions
Yes.
and the amounts of food that
Yeah.
we had.
Very generous table, I would
Yes,
say.
yes.
Yeah.
This is what we used to. apparently we eat bigger portions than you guys, and we eat like 3 meals a day, which is not the case for many.
Well, we also would eat, well, 3, sometimes 5, sometimes people eat less, it differs. What time would you usually eat?
So everybody have breakfast in the morning and a lunch.
What's the morning?
The morning should be before you go to work or school. So let's say 8 and 9, between 8 and 9.
Yeah.
And then I would say the regular lunch would be at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And dinner would be like 8 or 9.
Okay, so late. And then what would you usually eat for a breakfast?
For me, I usually eat a cheese sandwich
Yeah.
with a coffee in the morning.
And then for lunch?
For lunch, I eat whatever my mom cooks, honestly.
Yeah.
And we have some arguments of foods that I like and foods that I don't like.
Yeah.
But my mom cooks us a very delicious meal from our traditional cuisine.
Okay,
for
so what would
lunch.
it be?
Let's say,
Meat?
yes, it mostly contains meat. I would say that we eat mahshi, is a very popular dish. Also,
Mashi was what?
mahshi is like it's very hard to explain. It's like
We should show it, but we don't have it,
aubergines.
yeah.
Aubergines.
Ah.
We empty the inside of the aubergine and
Yeah.
we stuff it with rice and meat,
Okay.
and then we cook it. So
Nice.
yeah, it's
Sounds
very
nice.
unique.
And what is the biggest meal, the afternoon or the evening?
I would say the one on lunch.
Okay.
I eat the biggest meal on lunches.
The biggest is lunch. Okay.
Yes.
So also about the hours, just one last thing. I understood correctly, I hope, that in your culture, morning is not really early morning. For example, in this place when we stay, it's quite impossible to get breakfast
Yes,
before 9
yes, yes,
o'clock.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
also we are coming and sitting and we are very much in a hurry because we want coffee immediately. We want to eat very quickly and we want to go and record and do our job. And I see people here are relaxed, they are
Yes.
just chill
Yes,
and they
yes,
are
yes, yes.
waiting. This is the Middle East spirit, I would say. Am I right?
You are you are kind of right. Yes. For some people, they would like to have a very slow morning, have their
Yeah.
coffee, take their time to
Yeah.
to know to boost up, and then after the coffee, they would think of breakfast. So coffee must always come first.
Ah, that's
For the majority,
okay.
yes.
Okay, but then at the same time, you, as people who take care of us and support us to
Yes,
bring
yes,
to
yes.
families, etc., you are very much on time. And
Yes.
quick, I would say.
Yes.
How is it?
Yes, because we know that foreigners and Europeans are very on time, so we should respect that. And we also, in our personal life, we are not very late on.
Yes?
Yes, yes,
So you
yes.
have to go to your
On
work on
time,
time.
of course,
You
of
start
course,
at
of
what
course.
time? 9:30?
9:30,
And you
yes.
have to be in the office 9:30?
9:30 sharp, we would be working.
If you come 9:45, will your boss call you?
He would call me before 45.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
So he will check if you are there.
Yeah, 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 of
Okay.
course, of
And
course,
then
of
what
course.
time do you finish?
At 5.
Okay. What do usually people do after work? If they want to chill.
Personally, some people do sports after work.
What kind of?
Let's say gym. They go to the gym to lift weights.
Yeah.
Some go to cafes,
Yeah.
have a nice drink with shisha. And some have some commitments with volunteering for scouts and volunteering for church as well.
Okay. So we are now in Aleppo. I want to come back to little bit understand the background of this city. Whenever we go through this city, I can see ruins almost everywhere. I suppose it was not always like this.
Of course.
How it happened during the years, when it happened?
So since the war started, actually in 2010, we started to witness very bad scenes, let's say, with bombshells and explosions affecting the whole characteristic of the city that we used to. So all of the ruins you see was absolutely not there before the war.
So you personally saw all of those buildings
Yes.
before they collapsed,
Yes,
and
yes,
now
yes.
you walk through the city and you see how much it's changed.
As the time passed, it's not a short time, it's 10 years of war.
Yeah,
Each time you go on a street, let's say,
There's
and you
something
see
new.
something new, something was there, like let's say the day before is now a ruin. Yeah, so it happened gradually, and the earthquake also has a very strong effect also on the buildings, because yeah.
Yeah. Through these years, did you ever have a feeling or a thought while evacuating or while hearing bombs or whatever that you will maybe never see your family again?
Uh, of course,
You had it?
of course. Many times when I would just simply go out from the house, my mom would say, "Please answer your phone." And
Yeah.
we
Moms are the
anything
same
can
everywhere.
happen.
They
Yes,
just want us to
anything can
answer
happen
phones.
to you, and I don't know if I would be able to see you again. It was very clear that we were saying our goodbyes actually 2 times. Uh, During the earthquake, we were holding our hands while the whole building was shaking,
This
and
I can't believe.
we didn't had anything to say but to pray and say "I love you" to each other, and just hold our hands and praying not the building for it not to collapse, and would stay alive to see another day and live with each other safely. This has also was repeated um, during the recent evacuation
Yeah.
in late 2024.
Do you have a feeling that you're brave? You, as Anthony, your
Mm-hmm.
family,
Mm-hmm.
the whole Hope Center, etc. Because I really have a feeling that you do a great job and it's not easy, but do you also feel it in your everyday life?
I don't think that I used to have it as a kid or growing up, but with all of these events, have also helped a lot to teach me to be brave. So I don't think that I was born being brave, but I certainly developed this trait.
Yeah. So I like this question, even though it's very general. Do you have any dreams that you could share?
Yes, I have quite.
Lots of dreams,
I
please.
have a lot of dreams. Of course,
Tell
I
us
have a
those
lot
that
of
you want to
dreams.
share.
But the main dream is seeing and knowing that my family are safe and living in a stable conditions, living a normal, stable, calm life without anything, without any fear, any threats, any daily threats. And also me being able to make a family of my own, and also have kids and see my kids growing up while having my career developing more,
Yeah.
all those stuff.
Since we are talking, you are from Hope Center, I'm from Caritas, and we do a project together. I also want to ask one project-related question. Do you remember any story of a family that we helped, of a person that opened a business because of our project, because of family-to-family program? Do you have somebody in mind that is very special for you? Some story that you remember?
Of course, I have plenty of memories, but a certain family won't leave my mind. I always have this family in my mind, which is the family that we have visited, like earlier on your trip.
Yeah?
You know,
Who was it?
I'm not sure, but I think the woman was called Naime.
Mm-hmm.
So Naime and her wife has 2 kids, and they live in a one-room apartment on 3 beds.
One-room apartment on 3 beds.
So they lack. Not all of the family member have beds,
Yeah.
and all the beds are a
So
regular
how they
size.
just squeeze children on the beds?
Honestly, I think that they put two children on one bed,
Yeah.
and one bed for the mom and one bed for the father.
Yeah, I also met the family like
They
that.
are living in a very, very
Poor
hard conditions, poor conditions. Income is very insufficient comparing to expenses, regular basic expenses.
Yeah, because expenses they can reach up to few $100s,
Yes,
as
yes,
far as I
yes, yes, yes.
understood.
And the highest income, let's say, could barely reach $60.
For this kind of families, yes?
This
Of-
kind of families, we're talking way lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's hard. So you really cannot afford anything.
Mm-hmm.
Any positive story of the people that you saw while helping?
Yes, of course. There was this story of a guy who was supported in the micro projects program that is actually one of the Christian Hope Center's program, who got injured, who was previously a soldier in the previous military,
Yeah.
and after he was discharged from the military, he started his own business, and he got the support he needed to start his life again and to manage to get an income. And
What is he doing?
I think he was doing coal manufacturing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I think I met him.
Yeah.
It
So
was a
it's
strong
very
story.
inspiring to me, and especially for guys who used to serve in the military. You know, serving in the military might take up to 10 years.
Yeah.
So you are having your life frozen for 10 years, and then trying
You
to
come
fit
back to
in the
society,
society,
and
trying
you
to
don't know what
fit
to
in,
do.
trying to having no profession and no education. So it would be very, very
Did
hard.
you have to go to military?
No, because I don't have a male brother.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. So
Yes,
you
yes.
didn't have, okay. Why do you work in Hope Center?
It's a very good question. I think that the vision that the Hope Center has is one of my own visions for the country and for the city. And it's also a very, very good opportunity for me to give back to the society and make sure that the Christian community is living in a better conditions and having a very decent life.
Yeah. If I ask you about Poland, what comes to your mind?
Robert Lewandowski.
Yeah, we have Robert Lewandowski, this we know, okay. Something more difficult than Robert Lewandowski. You
Whenever
meet us from time
yes,
to time. Yes,
yes,
you meet
yes.
Dominic, you meet
I
me.
meet Caritas Poland. So when I
Yes.
hear the word Poland,
Yeah,
all that
you know
comes to
some
mind
words
is Caritas
already.
Poland. Yes, tak, tak. I
Yes,
know tak, tak.
For example, what else? You were learning some numbers.
I was learning. I was trying to
So what do
learn
you
some
remember?
numbers. The number one
Yeah?
was yen.
Jeden.
Jeden.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Something else?
Let's che.
Yeah.
Number
But okay,
three.
you also tried some very traditional Polish sweets, I know.
Yes.
You
yes.
got
I have tried the caramel
the
ones.
caramel.
The
Krówki. They are called
krówkis.
krówki.
You call them
Yeah.
krówkis? Yeah. I
Yeah.
have tried krówkis.
Krówkis. He tried krówkis.
Yeah.
So, did you like it?
I like it very much, but
Okay.
it's so sweet. So
It is.
So
It is.
yeah. I need to handle it
Like
properly.
this morning food that we have, the cinnamon with something is also very sweet. Some other words?
I also know the word dzień dobry because
Dzień
you guys
dobry.
use it a lot.
We use it a lot?
Yes.
To whom I say dzień dobry?
To you guys, you say it to
Really?
you guys.
I think I
Dzień
say
dobry.
one more difficult, which is cześć.
Cześć.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Hi.
Cześć.
Hi, it's just hi.
Cześć.
Yeah.
Okay, so cześć.
So, you're Christian Hope Center, and I know Christian community is small. And here, how small is it?
I would probably say it's 2% or 3% from the population of Aleppo.
Yeah. So, do you have a lot of Christian friends generally?
Yes, the most of my friends are Christians.
So you stay together.
Yes, we
okay.
stay together.
And what celebrations do you have?
Palm
Palm Sunday.
Sunday.
How is it called?
Sha'nine.
Shanine.
Sha'nine, yes.
Shanine.
Yes, yes,
Do I
yes.
pronounce it correctly?
Yes, you did.
Shanine. Okay.
Sha'nine. So Palm Sunday, I have very, very beautiful memories of Palm Sunday, especially before the war. So I remember myself, we have this tradition of kids decorating candles and
Candles.
taking them taking them to the church
Yeah.
on Palm Sunday. So I remember my mom helping me decorate a candle. It was a blue candle. So and then we would be ready to go to the church, dressing all nice, of course.
Yes.
Yes, and going to the church to pray
Yeah.
at the church. But what really is special about the Aleppo community is that after the church, scout groups would actually perform with their drums and their trumpets a little show in
On the
squ-
streets?
on the streets in front of the church.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
As a little kid, I would get on my father's shoulders
Yes.
with the candle in my hand, and I used to watch all
Wow.
the scouts perform and be scared also because of the loud noises they make.
Yeah.
So this is a very beautiful memory because family members and friends would come especially to Aleppo, just to be part of this celebration on
Yeah.
Palm Sunday.
At this point, we can also say that you are volunteering in a scouts group, yes?
Yes, I also volunteer in Scout group, but we don't do the similar activities.
Is it very popular in here to be a scout?
Yes, it's very, very popular.
Why? What it brings to people?
I would say it brings them a very safe space to do their activities, to be creative, and to also serve the community. Because you know, in Scouts, a very big part of our role is to serve at the church, do some initiatives on Christian holidays. So it really gives all the people a reason just to to serve the community.
And then we have Palm Sunday, and then Easter comes. How do you celebrate Easter? First of all, do you have very big breakfast in the morning?
On Easter?
Yes.
I would say no.
No?
No.
You just drink coffee?
Yeah, it's a regular breakfast, but we have a very big lunch.
Okay, because we have very big breakfasts.
Uh-huh.
We just would have eggs, we would paint them.
Ah, it's the day before Easter.
You paint them
where,
the day
where
before.
we do this, yes.
Okay, we also
On
paint the day
Saturday.
before. We
Yes.
also paint on Saturday, but then
Yes.
we eat on Sunday. And the breakfast is like the meal of the day. The whole family sits, you have salads, you have cakes, you have all of these traditional meals and eggs, of course, and they are being blessed before on Saturday in church. So this is the meal of the day, and you have just coffee, regular breakfast.
Regular breakfast,
then
big
lunch.
lunch. Big
What's
lunch.
for lunch?
It varies, honestly, from Sindwanat to Kebbe to all different traditional Aleppian dishes.
Yeah.
So the whole family would gather in one place, in someone's place, usually the grandmother and grandfather's house.
Yeah.
We would all gather on one table and we would share this very beautiful cooked meal.
Okay, and then what happens afterwards? You go back home?
Afterwards, no.
You sit, chat?
Yes, yes. After we go to the church, we will gather and meet up meet my friends and to go maybe if there's some party or something, some celebration of that kind, we would go to this one.
Okay, so let's just switch to Christmas, because it's, at least in Poland, sometimes it feels like it's the most important celebrations. Christians would say that Easter is the most important.
Yes.
Because this is like the point that we should focus on, the reason,
Yes.
etc. Yeah, but then we have Christmas, which because of all of these shopping malls, I haven't seen any shopping mall in here. Are there any? Like,
there
you
is
know,
one small one. I
Small
would
one.
say, yeah.
Because malls for us means that you can sometimes have few floors,
I know
lot
what
of
a mall
clothes
is.
shop,
Yes, yes, yes.
etc.
We used to
Yeah.
have malls
And they
That's
don't.
the problem. We used to have malls. They are all damaged after the war.
Okay.
And
so,
yeah,
So now they are just smaller and regular
they are
shops.
smaller, closer to a market, let's say.
Yeah, I'm telling you how it looks because I just
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a feeling
yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
never seen anywhere.
Yes,
so
yes,
it
you
feels
are
like...
right about this, but we have
One
plenty
of
of
the
malls
malls.
that are
And
destroyed.
why
They are
am I-
destroyed and stolen.
Well,
Dominica,
actually-
thank you for reminding me.
I'm sorry, but you know what's interesting? I'm starting conversation about Christmas from the malls,
Yeah.
and it's so sad.
Yes, it's
But in
sad.
Europe, sometimes Christmas, it's all about going to the
Shopping.
malls and buying presents.
Mhm.
And that's why I feel Christmas might be very different in here, and I want to understand
Yes.
how it looks.
I would give you my point of view, and the way I do
Yeah,
Christmas.
your Christmas, just
Yes,
your
my
family.
Christmas. So for me, my scout again on the day before Christmas, we do a very simple dinner.
Christmas Eve, 24.
Christmas Eve, yes.
Yeah.
We do a very simple dinner with all the scout members and their families. So the scout members would actually prepare some, let's say, some plays and sketches and dances, which they would perform to their parents,
Yeah.
and we would all share a meal all together. So that's for the Christmas Eve. Of course,
Yeah.
after going to the church and praying, then
Yeah.
we would do this.
So it's not a family thing, but you have the
I
Christmas
have my
Eve-
family with me.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
but-
not that you're only
No,
with your
it's not
family,
an
you're
intimate.
in a community.
Yes, we are in the community. All the scout families are there. All the kids are nervous because they are about to perform in front of
Christmas
let's
carols?
say 200. Yes, Christmas carols, dances. They even prepare small plays, short plays,
Nice.
just acting. You know.
But these plays are about how Jesus was born or some different topics as well?
Yes, we would start with telling the story by simple small play,
Yeah.
and other type of plays and dances just to entertain, you know, the parents. Yes.
Yeah. And then Christmas Day.
hmm
How it
So
looks.
on Christmas Day, I would first go to the church in the morning, let's say at 11, and then also a big family gathering with lunch, with
Yeah.
similar traditional
Yeah.
food and wine, of course. It's very similar to the Easter, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I am comparing between the two, they are very similar. I go to the church in the morning, then I go to the dinner, to lunch with the
Yeah.
family, huge family gathering, and then we would meet up with some friends in the evening to have drinks or so ever. And also we do Secret Santa.
Secret Santa.
Do you know what it is?
No, I'm not sure.
So, let's say if a group of friends want to do Secret Santa, so we all pick names to whom we are about to present a gift.
Yeah.
So everyone
Within
in
family,
the group,
yes?
in a group of friends
in a
or a
group.
family,
Yeah.
it works both ways.
Yeah.
So we would gift each other on Christmas secretly, and then we would reveal who got who.
But what do you mean secretly? You have a Christmas tree and you put presents under?
Yes. We would gather in some place,
Yeah.
and we put all the presents in the same spot, and
Just the spot, it's under Christmas
yes,
tree.
it is under the Christmas tree.
So you have Christmas
Yes,
tree.
yes, we
okay,
have
yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
tree, and we put the gifts underneath it.
And then you sing Christmas carols together in a
yeah,
families
yeah.
or
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, we listen to them most of
Okay,
the time.
you listen.
Yeah,
Okay.
not actually singing.
And the temperature during the Christmas is probably -2, it's a winter already. Is it snowing sometimes?
No, that's actually the problem with Syria. We don't
Yeah,
have snow. We only have the code of the snow, but not the
Yeah.
actual snow. So the Christmas scene was never complete. It only snowed once here in Syria since I was a kid.
Are there any movies that you watch during this Christmas time that
You
are
know
common?
the movie. That's
Yeah,
why you
which
asked
one?
the question.
No, I don't.
Home Alone. You don't watch Home Alone?
We watch, but I try to
Yeah.
understand if everybody watches Home Alone.
Yes, we do
Also in
watch Home
Syria,
Alone. Yes,
okay.
it's a very famous.
Christmas Eve or the day before, the day after? What's the day?
We watch whatever we have.
Whenever.
Whatever it's
Okay.
available.
Something else? So Home
I
Alone
can't
is so
really
international.
remember. I can't really remember any. Oh, the Mr. Bean, the Christmas episode.
Mr.
It's a
Bean.
very good
Okay,
example.
everybody's the same.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, so here we have Christmas. Any other important celebrations?
Mm, I don't quite think so.
Are people in Syria ashamed sometimes that they believe in God?
Mm.
This question might be strange for you.
Do you mean Christians or
Christians,
people
yes,
in
yes,
general?
yes, yes, yes.
So no.
No.
For us, it's actually very respected to have our own beliefs and to celebrate our own events.
Yeah.
So it is very respected between the majority of the community, of course. And no, we don't fear to declare that we are Christians. We're proud of being Christians. We're proud of having all these traditions that are related to the Christian calendar.
Yeah. I was just curious because it happens that people are ashamed in
Yes,
Poland or
yes,
in Europe,
yes,
so
yes,
you
yes.
know, yeah. That's why. Okay. I think we come back to the end of this interview.
Okay.
So, of course, I have this question if there is anything that you would like to mention.
I would like to take this opportunity actually to thank the Polish people for basically their support in different programs with the Christian Hope Center. Their support means a lot to us and the Christian community here in Syria.
Yeah. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank
It
you
was
so
nice to
much,
speak
Dominika.
about Syria.
Yes.
Thanks a lot and see you.
I enjoyed
Yes?
this interview. Thank
Was
you
not
so
stressful?
much. No, it was
Good.
not
Thanks a
stressful. I
lot.
like it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.